Welcome to the PT Legends podcast, where co-host Dave Bess and myself, Scott Carpenter, share our journey and secrets of success. From our humble beginnings as personal training employees of a big box gym to struggling studio owners that have made every mistake in the book, to where we are now, the owners of a multi-seven-figure business operating multiple personal training studios internationally, and now coach and mentor to fitness professionals in 5 countries and counting. This is our story, and these are our secrets. Subscribe to our podcast, learn, take action, and build your own fitness empire. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the PT Legends podcast. I am Scott.
Big Dave, clocking back in
once again. And today we have two really amazing special guests on the show. Deonte Mason and Laken Summerville. They're both with Halito Fitness out of Virginia, and they were actually PT Legends client number 1, really before it was even called PT Legends. But these were the two people. Laken, I spoke to you first, and we connected on a call, and you're like, hey, can you show me a little bit about what you guys have been doing that's been getting these unbelievable results that we were doing at our gyms? And then we got into it, and you're like, holy cow, can you teach us how to do this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I tracked you down on Facebook and slid into your DMs and was like, hey, so you're a personal training studio. We're a personal training studio. I'm trying to do what you're doing. Do you mind hopping on a call with me? And the rest was kind of history from there. It was a really quick progression.
Yeah, so you actually started this whole movement probably then, is what it ended up being.
I mean, I don't want to take credit, but you know.
Yeah, and thank you both for coming on. We realize it's been almost a year since we started working together, and you guys have we started doing this, and it has been a hell of a year too.
A hell of a year. It's been amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I know particularly when a lot of people are struggling a little bit this year in January, because we got hit with Omicron, and then leads are lower for quite a few people. You guys have been on fire since January, I think, right?
Yeah. Lead volume has been steady, nothing crazy. We haven't had, I don't think, any like big, bubbles of leads, but I feel like we're starting to really hit our stride with a couple referrals, and I think local leads. Deonte's done a really great job of putting together a local Facebook group to try to fish leads from. So there's a little bit more awareness, which is hard because, as you guys know, like right now, we train out of our houses. Yeah. So it's literally like started from the bottom, and now we're here and just growing and growing from there. So
yeah, that's the crazy thing. You guys are each training out of your homes, and you guys have hit capacity really. And a lot of people, there's a lot of trainers out there who has to start that way, right? Whether they rent space somewhere, or it's even harder in your home gym, I think, because it's harder to generate leads. And it is harder, I think, in a way to establish authority because you don't have an official place of business. And you guys have crushed it. And spoiler alert, exciting news, you guys have signed a lease on a space. Yes. And are doing the renovation, and you guys are moving in just around the corner, really, which is super exciting. And if there's anybody out there who doesn't already have their own studio, like these two should be your source of inspiration. And they didn't let anything stop them in their way. Laken comes from Deonte. You're more personal training background, right?
Yeah, correct. Yep.
And Laken's got the experience running a CrossFit gym.
Yep.
And then you guys were thinking about opening up a CrossFit gym, I think, correct?
Yeah, right that was the original plan.
And what derailed that?
COVID. Yeah, we were gung ho. Like we were prepared. Actually, January 2020, we were touring like 6,000 to 8,000 square foot commercial warehouse spaces. Yep. Almost signed a lease actually on a new build to open a CrossFit gym. That was our initial plan. That's, that's where we kind of met each other, was in the last gym that we were at together, and we trained together. We fell in love with the community vibe and all that it had to offer. And we wanted to incorporate personal training also. We knew that we wanted the model to be a little bit different, where we have about 50-50, where most CrossFit gyms, it's about 10 to 20% comes from personal training. We knew we wanted to really put a heavy emphasis on the one-on-one relationship with clients, especially because that's where Deonte's background primarily comes from. And so we almost pulled the trigger on a CrossFit gym, and then COVID hit and we had to pivot rather quickly and make adjustments. And in the process of that, I reran the numbers and we started, redoing the projections. And I was like, this is actually a better model. Like, let's stick with the one-on-one. And it was a blessing in disguise. It really allowed us to go back to what was important to us as far as the quality that we were providing to our clients, and starting literally like from the ground and being super organic in our growth and avoiding huge overhead expenses and being able to scale as we needed to and grow like as along the way. And then by the time, I guess we were almost a year into the process when, we had a conversation and we were like, all right, like, we need to take this to the next level. We were already a part of a mentorship group that was very much catered towards group fitness. And it was really, really helpful in kind of overall processes and SOPs, but we needed something that was more specific to what we wanted to do, which we had decided at that point we were going to move forward with just a personal training studio. And that's when I started, digging online and was like, I need to find someone within my network that is either already doing this or is looking to do this. I actually reached out to you initially because I wanted to start a small group of people that were personal training studios within that network, right? And try to like build from there. And when I reached out, I was like, yo, this guy's killing it. Like, I need to get on a call with him and figure out, what's the sauce, what is he doing? And we got on a call and you were so great. Like, you were so open with me. I feel like I remember calling Deonte afterwards and I was like, yo, this guy got on a video call with me and he showed me everything. Like, he opened up his Google Drive and was like, yeah, and we do this and we do this. And, this is the tracker that we use. And I was like, okay, so let's say I wanted to implement this at our gym. What can we do? Would you be willing to sell this system to me or teach me how to do it? And I would be happy to pay for that. And that it all kind of started from there.
It legitimately all started from there, which is just kind of wild. And it's so cool because you guys took that and you did so well right off the bat, and were able to drastically increase your rates and what you did and the impact and the stories that you got from it. And then, and that's when it kind of opened the doors to other people. Cause then other people were like, hey, can you teach me how to do this? And can you teach me how to do this? And it all kind of formed just from the results that everybody was getting. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, we got to build like systems and videos and training videos and get Zoom call schedules for live reps to do it. And yeah, it all started from that, which is nuts.
Yeah, that's what we feel like so closely tied to you guys, because as we were able to organically grow and develop and evolve over time, it was like we got to see the growth of PT Legends simultaneously. So we kind of like grew together. And that's been such a special process to be a part of over time. It's been a really awesome year for all of us to be able to see like how much you guys have evolved and like taken it from where we started from to now, which is like so flushed out and like all the resources available to anyone that wants to join. And same for like the product that we offer to our client and kind of the level of service and being able to have, stand behind the value that we're demanding.
Yeah. And I have to give you guys credit. You guys both did that really quickly, because for a lot of people, asking for, $3,000, $4,000 for a 9-week program, that's really hard for them to do. Like really, really, really hard. And you guys, the thing is, you guys knew a lot of your worth going into it, and you guys were able to pick up on that. And Dave, the Kool-Aid man, obviously he's the greatest sales trainer on earth, I believe. And you guys just picked it up so fast though.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of that was what you guys had taught us and kind of like what we had already been doing. It's like bridging the two together, right? Like we're kind of doing this already. We're not doing it at this level, but with the training that you guys provided, like we were able to like, all right, we can take this leap because one, like we started very small. We didn't have a lot of overhead expenses, and it was easy for us to like make the decision to join you guys and start working with you and implement the systems that you guys were teaching. So, and the rest is kind of like history from there,
Yeah, we already knew that we wanted, like our priority was high ticket. We wanted a very high value, high touch service. We wanted to be able to train less clients, but on a high quality level, both like clients that, and not just people that were willing to pay more, right? Like that's not always the best fit. We wanted to work with clients that we genuinely found joy in coaching and were able to make the biggest impact with. So really, like you say all the time, Scott, like everybody wins in that scenario, right? That was really, really important to us. And so this was kind of like the exact plug-in that we needed in order to find that niche. It really helped us iron out our ideal avatar client, because in the beginning, even though our prices we were already fairly, high ticket, people were always dropping down to our lowest offer, right? Yeah. Or we had a hard time like really finding clients that we really wanted to work with. And it is hard in the beginning when you're building your business and you want to say yes to everybody. You want to kind of make everyone fit. And the more we were able to use your sales process to really portray our worth and get what the value that we needed out of the clientele that we were looking for, the less clients that we needed to have to fill the gaps.
Yeah. I think it's everybody wins from it. And with personal training studios, and God, Dave and I did this for years. It's just, you're always tempted, like every lead is precious, right? And you feel like you have to sign up everybody, and you get somebody who could be an amazing client, but then they start working you down on the price, or like, they're just like, I can't afford, like they're really good at doing that. And what it is, you start dropping those rates. And if it's one-on-one, like you can't do that. You're going to have a lot of clients, but you're going to be working around the clock for peanuts then. And the problem scales when it's not just you two. Like you guys are opening up your full own personal training gym, which is amazing. And if you go in with rates like that, and now you hire other trainers to help you, there just isn't enough margin there to pay the overhead, pay the trainer well, where they can make a really good living and have an awesome career, make enough profit, be able to pay other people to help out with marketing and average. Like you're going to be doing all of the jobs, and you can't substitute that price. So it's important for the gym owner. It's important for the staff, right? So that they can make a good living. And it's important for the client that, they value it this much, right? And I know all of our worst personal training clients are usually at the lowest rates. It just is. It's just how it is. And the people who pay the most typically are the easiest people to work with because they know that value.
They're more invested.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And like you mentioned, like kind of the third leg of that triangle, is the staff. Like that's something that is very important to Deonte and I, is bringing on a high quality team. And we want a small team. We want to be able to have, maybe as little as 2, definitely no more than 4 trainers on hand, but people that we're able to compensate really well, that we're able to provide continued education perks to. And like that only works if we're able to charge what we're worth and give them the value that they're putting into us, right? So that way we can keep them long-term and they feel valued with us.
Yeah. I can't wait for this next step with you guys, because you guys are pretty much limited by capacity, like physical space and how many hours you guys have. And you've been busting at the seams. You've completely maximized everything because your price went up and your margins went, like you're there. And so this is the next step, which is both scary and the thing that's going to catapult you guys, because you guys can move from a strict one-on-one to an overlapping one-on-one model. You guys are going to get leveraged by being able to hire other people. And you guys are just, it's crazy what you guys are you're doing now out of your homes. And there's a lot of trainers out there that would kill to make the money you guys are making out of your homes. And it's going to be really cool when you have that this place first opens and you've already hired ahead of time, which is awesome. And now your capacity, which you're totally limited by yourself and your hours, seeing that'll go up, 8x. It's going to get scary what you guys can do, especially because you guys are on just a heat streak too.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the community too, like our ability to like have other people around, peers and people who are going through the same thing. Like right now, it's kind of like we're operating in a vacuum. They don't get to see the other clients, right? So that's one of the things I'm looking forward to the most, is having that community aspect that most gyms have.
Yeah.
And having the collaboration of our team. Right now we're very isolated. Where I train my clients out of my studio. Deonte trains his clients out of his studio, and we meet together on Zoom or, try to get together once a week, but it's not the same vibe as being able to have like that collective energy in person.
Yeah. That's what's going to be cool. That's the level of energy, enthusiasm, you guys and your clients too. Like you guys plus the clients, they're going to feel more of a part of a community. They're going to get to know each other. It's only going to improve retention. It's only going to improve referrals, and it's only going to improve your guys' quality of life.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited for it. That's such a huge, huge jump. And you guys have to give yourselves credit for that too. And I know we're surrounded by tons, all these other gym owners that have their own physical studios, but going from doing it in your house to that is a massive step.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it's hard. Like when everybody's celebrating wins and they're like, signed up this many people this week, and I'm like, okay, well, we've had super steady growth and we're doing all the things that we want to do, and it's amazing. It's just, we're on a different scale right now. And the fact that, we always say, we're like, if we were able to do what we did and make it through COVID, we're going to be able to fucking do anything. Yeah. We're not worried about shit.
This has been a 2-year journey too. We started this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And being able to just slowly build through word of mouth, through referrals. And we're just getting ready. I feel like we're getting ready to really hit the ground running when we open this facility. Super excited.
That's the other thing too, right? Is the leads. Almost, I would say 90% of the leads that we deal with are cold as a fish, right? They are really cold leads coming from ads. We get a couple referrals, but for the majority, we're dealing with the leads that most people.
It's a free challenge.
Yeah, really struggle with. And so that's been the hardest thing is when the other gym owners are they're able to, fish from their stocked pond of, either current members or the community that they've already built because their gym has been open for 10 years. It's shit.
And those cold Facebook leads are cold. Everybody knows that. And
but it's made us so much stronger.
Yeah. And I don't know if everybody knows this, guys. They do their discovery call. They just crush our sales resurrection part. They do the discovery call. They do the perfect consultation. They do those over Zoom. Their consultations over Zoom.
Yeah.
And they close. What are your prices on it too?
So bottom tier right now is up to $3,000. That's only 2 times a week.
2 times per week.
Yeah.
One-on-one training. And then they do our whole mentorship program, right? Do the weekly coaching calls, the weekly mentoring calls. So, wow, 2 times a week. And you got that at $3,000 for 9 weeks.
Yeah.
Which is amazing, guys. Or sorry, 8 weeks. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Holy cow. I forgot that. And then what's your 3 time a week option?
That one is $3,500.
That's amazing. That is amazing. So guys, do a little bit of math, whoever's listening out there. And that's what you should be doing. That is amazing. Amazing.
Let me butt in too. Laken and Deonte could sell it for $5,000 too. That's the next step. Laken, every single one of these calls, I'm like, you have to offer it for $5,000. Scott, you mentioned the heater. Let's go over your heater that you both of you guys are on. It seems like the last 6 weeks, what are you combined in the last month at a consult? So cold Facebook leads, all cold Facebook leads, basically, right? Is it 11 out of 13?
We've had 2 referrals.
We had 2 referrals
out of all the leads we've had. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 just this month.
Okay.
And then 12 total since January.
Wow.
And how many PCs? Is that 14?
12.
Wait, 12 for 12?
No, I missed two.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Okay.
14 PCs,
14.
12 closes out of 14.
Wow. Okay. So 12 out of 14, most of all except for 2 are cold ass Facebook leads who think everything's free, right?
Yeah.
Doing these over Zoom, training out of your house, selling these 2 times a week at $3K, 3 times a week at $3,500 for 8-week programs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
When you say it like that, it sounds crazy.
That it is. When you put it in perspective and all these variables that add challenge, these results are absurd. But that's also because you guys have been like, you didn't just learn it. You guys have been actively coming and getting reps on our sales calls for a year, really.
Yeah. I was going to say that doesn't happen by itself. That's not a learn the process, plug and play situation. We have had to put in the reps and evolve over time along with the sales process. As the sales process has grown and improved, so have we, and we've been practiced and been able to implement it like on the spot and go with it as we go.
That's insane though. 12 out of 14 consults with all but 2 coming from cold Facebook leads. I didn't realize that. And that actually shocks me. So you guys are obviously wizards with this and over Zoom consultations. That's insane.
Yeah. We've never done an in-person PC.
That's insane. And when you get your, wow.
Yeah.
When you get your physical studio too, you will get, just because you're going to have a personal training studio with a Google business and a Yelp and a physical presence, in some areas you get a lot of organic leads because they have SEO, they've been there for a long time, but no matter what, you're going to get a handful of natural organic leads, which are way warmer and way hotter.
Yes.
And that's the awesome thing about having a physical studio. It's just a lead generator. Even if it's say, I only get 4 organic ones a month. Well, you guys will close 4 out of those, right? And that will be, it'll be $12,000 plus. It'll be like $12,000 to $14,000 in new business revenue a month just from having 4 walls.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Who wants to have some fun in this podcast? Laken, you know what we're going to do. So it's real funny to say you're 12 out of 14 and you're making all this money. We could have paid you guys to say that. Okay. So let's have some fun, Laken. So this is exactly what we do on our calls. Laken is the best in the entire world if she talks with a female that has issues with food, doesn't trust food. So 3 minutes on the time clock, Laken, pitch food freedom.
All right. Give me a name, Dave.
Let's go Becky.
Okay, Becky. So from our conversation today, what you are telling me is that you do not recognize yourself when you look in the mirror. You stand in front of your refrigerator and you second guess every meal that you anticipate eating throughout the day. You don't know whether it's better to skip meals or reduce calories or do keto. You feel like you've tried everything in the book and you're not getting the results that you want, and you're not feeling confident in your skin. Am I reading this right?
Yes.
Okay. So my partner and I have been doing this for a long time. We've been doing this over a decade, and we used to focus on high threshold training programs, nutrition plans. And while those will work for a period of time, we found, especially since the pandemic, that it's not providing long-term sustainable results for our clients. And so we needed to take a different approach, and we needed to address the other hours that you are utilizing outside of the time that you're with us in the studio. In order to do that, we are going to go about this a different way in the form of a health mentorship. On this health mentorship, yes, we're going to get you some training studio time where you're going to do some kick-ass workouts. You're going to get a good sweat. We're going to get you strong and feeling good about the way that you're lifting weights and how capable you are. In addition to that, we're going to build out a nutrition strategy that works with the way that you're living your lifestyle now, but optimizes it and builds in some good habits and routines that allows you to make confident choices throughout the day when it comes to your meals. The difference is that we're not only going to tell you what to do. I'm going to work with you one-on-one on this journey, and I'm going to show you how to implement these habits. And we're going to evaluate it on a week-to-week basis, celebrate your wins, figure out where you're struggling, and make adjustments as we go. This journey is not going to be a linear progression. You are going to have points where you struggle, and you are going to have points where you are going to fail. And when you fall, I'm going to be here to grab you by the hand and pick you up and take you on this journey all the way to a point where we feel like we recognize that woman looking back at us in the mirror, where I can help you stand in your power and get rid of that uncertainty that you feel every time you put a bite of food in your mouth. Now, to work with me one-on-one in this capacity, it is going to be $3,000. And at the end of this 8 weeks, do you see how when you implement this system every single day and have me by your side, you are going to be the woman in the mirror that you want to see?
And that's how you go 12 for 14.
That's incredible. Well done.
That's on the spot. We didn't have this planned either.
We did not have that planned. My face
I got nervous for Laken because I don't want to be put on the spot on a live podcast.
There was not a stutter. There wasn't even a stutter there. But you know what's sad? On a scale of 1 to 10 Laken, that's only a 7.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm a little tired. I just got done with the PC.
You're tired and you put on the spot on a live podcast.
Yeah.
I immediately got nervous for you.
Everybody's sweating.
Well. That's insane. That's unbelievable.
Here's the thing
that
with
is
these
after weeks and weeks of doing that over and over again in a room full of peers that are all bringing the heat, where it's the hardest to do that, where you don't have that built up connection leading up to that moment in the PC like you do with a client. And that's why it gets that good. It's when you it's just like working out. It's just like a nutrition plan. You have to put in the reps in order to make it that clean.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I did not sound like this at all 2 months ago. 2 months ago, I had a picture of an iceberg up and I was going through step by step and walking through all the logistics of all the things that were included in the plan and what you were going to get. And I was pulling up a price sheet on Zoom and pointing to things. I don't do any of that anymore. It's completely changed my pitch. And that's how much the program has evolved, because the iceberg just came in a couple months ago. We weren't doing that at the beginning either, but it just keeps getting better and better and better.
And a lot of that is just, God, it's organic, right? Because now that there's so many gym owners doing this, and we get to see what works, and we get to test that and change it. And yeah, it has completely evolved into something that nobody really knew. And God, we were good at this. We were all good at this a long time ago, but it's just gotten that much better.
Yes.
To where you can do that.
Gets added to the group is another set of skills that gets presented that we get to see in practice live on a weekly basis. You don't get that anywhere else. Like, that's the shit that I love about PTL, right? Like, that's what I tell people when they ask me about why is this different, or how is it worth the investment, or why do you like it so much? Why does everybody say that I need to talk to you, right? It's like, because the weekly calls are something that you don't get with any other program like this. It brings an energy like it's just not happening other places, right? It's getting the time investment and that collaboration, like the community collaboration is where all the magic happens. And like you just said, every time a new legend comes in, and then they get to see senior legends put their pitch into place. And I can't take full credit for that pitch that I just did. I've ad hoc'd and pulled pieces from other legends that I've seen execute that I hear and I say, ooh, I really like that. I'm going to try it out, see how it fits, put my spin on it, and put some passion behind it and see if I can make that work. And I'll practice different ones every single week. Sometimes I'll do 2 different ones in a call, but that's what makes all the difference.
Mm-hmm. And that's the cool thing is like, yeah, you with so many people in it and on these calls doing live reps, somebody says something like, wow, that really resonated with me. I'm taking that piece and I'm going to make that my own. And it evolves over time where you take little bits of everybody's and personalize it, because everybody's pitch, it has to come from who you are, right?
Yeah.
With your background, your experience, your passions. But yeah, other people will give you so many ideas and snippets that you'll use to build your own. And that's why I think Dave is the best in the world at helping people find their own voice. And I don't think we've ever invited anybody, Dave, but if anybody's listening out there, like if you want to jump in one of our sales calls with Dave and see this in practice and see these gym owners, the veterans and the people who have just joined the program and see how we do this together, come on in, shoot us an email at just do Scott at PT Legends and I'll invite you in for one of the sales calls and you can really see what it's all about.
A couple things.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, Laken, like, it's not even like when we first started, I was like, I'm really good at teaching sales, but it's not even like now I just get that moment where I get to hear Laken and hear Deonte like speak from their heart and their soul. And like, it's just like, holy shit. Like we're all going to change the world. So, and it's that collaboration of anyone that joins PT Legends, they're good people. And then when they get around other good people, it's just everybody's growing. So it's not even a sales call. It's weird. I don't even know what to call it, but but like, that's the highlight when I can call out Laken just like that. And she just turns it around and says, boom, this person doesn't trust food. She has issues with food. I know exactly what she needs. I'm the person that can guide her, and she can do that just like that. And Deonte can do the same thing. It's amazing, but it's you guys that get me out of bed to hear those moments where like, that person is speaking from their heart. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's the best part. That's probably the best part for you, Dave, is like seeing people when they first start, because we've been in for a year, right? So getting to see other legends progressions when they come in as new baby legends, and then like getting to see them week over week, and like some of them week 1 compared to week 6, and they're learning so much faster now, right? Because the systems that you guys have in place. It's crazy. Like they're a different person.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And I mean, we just had this with somebody that you referred, a CrossFit gym owner that you referred, Laken. And Lauren, like by her, I think her second month, I mean, she did like
crushing it.
$18,000 in new business. Like she basically did her whole gym's revenue in a month in new business. Like it was nuts. And she did that fast. And yeah, you're right. You see somebody at like week 1 and week 6, and it's like they're a different person. And these aren't just like brand new people to the industry. They've been at it for 8 years, for 9 years, but they've never really learned how to do this. I mean, we didn't even create all this. It just evolved. Right. And that's the cool thing. Like, yeah, Dave and I know our stuff, but as a group with all these gym owners, this has evolved into something greater than any one of us could have hoped to create. And it's just kind of this natural organic movement. And yeah, it's really awesome to be able to be on, and a privilege to be able to be on with all these other gym owners across the world and to be doing what we're doing. It's so much fun, isn't it?
I think that's a testament to you guys too, like your ability to adapt to what's coming into your space, right? Like the gym owners that are coming in, and you guys being able to take the input that we're giving you and then make a program to fit what we need has been probably the best part of PT Legends, right? It's growing with us as we grow.
Yeah, that's been a lot of fun. And you guys were PT because originally PT, because you guys were personal training. That's what we called it, PT Legends. But then all these group models wanted to learn how to do this. And we initially started, we'll do it with your PT side, but then it expanded out, right? Based on their models.
Now we have way more CrossFit gyms than person. I think we're like one of 3 personal training studios.
Right. For PT only. Yeah. And it's pretty cool to see how that all worked out. And God, they just, because Lauren, who you brought in, was the same thing. She's a CrossFit.
Yeah.
Right. And just absolutely murdering it out there.
And now even extended to different genres, right? Like kickboxing or different types of studios and gyms.
Yeah. Anybody can bolt on a transformation program into their specific model. And they should, because it can really make or break a lot of people, especially those with group models, because those are the ones who had the hardest time with the pandemic.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of cancellations, and a lot of times their volume has not recovered pre-pandemic.
Going back to like the sales development growth, I feel like that should be like you guys' version of the before and after, right? So like we show before and after pictures for clients. Your before and after should be like when someone comes in, their pitch, their first day, versus like their 6-week pitch versus their 6-month pitch. And like, that's some fucking social proof right there.
That's a really good idea. That's a really good idea.
That first one, it's so ugly.
Yeah.
It's so challenging because like you're in a room of 12 other like gym owners, and like anyone that follows up like a Laken or Deonte pitch, they're just like, like Austin's our 21-year-old like deer in the headlights. But he texted me the other day. He was like, I don't get how not every gym in the world is doing this. And so he's just learning it, and like he has his first PC tonight. So, but the reason that Austin is going to be, he's going to be awesome because of you guys, right? And it's just people that only do like the one-on-one calls with me. I'm like, you're missing out on everything. Like me telling you my pitch, like is from my voice, like my life story. Everything is different. Like when you get on there and you're going to connect with Deonte's, personality and his life experiences, Laken's, like you really get to customize the story that you believe can really impact the world. And 90% of people will say yes when you have a story that connects with their story.
Yeah. I tell people all the time, like people will be like, wow, like you sound so different now than you did. Like if they're not regular, right? Like if they hop on like once every month or whatever, they're like, man, like your pitch sounds so much better. And I'm like, you got to get on the calls. Like you got to do it. It is a time investment, but it makes a huge difference.
Absolutely. And that's what I always have to stress. And I have to prepare people too. If they're new coming in, I'm like, listen, don't just go in there, then feel like you suck and not show up. Cause like I have to warn you, like if you're going to go in there and there's Deonte, if you're going to go in there and there's Laken, if you're going to go in there and there's Shannon, if there's Taryn, whatever, like you're going to feel like an idiot. Like just, that's okay. Everybody sucks.
We've all felt that way. I felt that way all the time.
Exactly. And then you just keep coming and you are a different person in a very short period of time if you come on those calls.
Yeah. Even in the beginning, like when Dave first tried to get me to say the price in the pitch, I was like, no, I don't.
Yeah, I forget that. I forget that. Like those calls so long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was nerve-wracking for everybody. That's pretty amazing though. Dave, how have you seen these two change?
Oh, when we initially started like PT Legends, like I remember the first conversation we had, Scott, about this. You're like, can we teach this to other people? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I can sell it. And, we're having some luck with our local, but I'm like, it's two strangers. I'm like, I don't know. And I'll always remember like, this is where I'm like, it's going to work. We were, Scott, we were doing that boys weekend to where we're up in Flagstaff. And I'll never forget, we're eating breakfast and Deonte texted. So Deonte went on that initial heater. And he's like,
I sold so one. Mad.
He's like, I sold one. I'm like, this is going to work. And like, but like seeing, like talking about like transformations, it's people, let's face it, they joined PT Legends initially to make money. That's it. Mm-hmm. Like it's sexy. It's high ticket, right? People's like, there's so many people that they sell a lot of high ticket stuff, convincing other people you can make a lot of money. And that's not what PT Legends is about because of the like stories like Laken and Deonte, like who they are now walking into a room. It's exactly the same type of transformation that the end user does going through the weight loss transformation. It's like they own the room. They're just different people. The way they look at people and eye contact on Zoom, like they've achieved transformations. And it's not about going 12 or 14 and making a lot of money. In fact, I would say it's the opposite for you guys. Mm-hmm. You guys are going to make millions of dollars doing this, but it's not even about the money. It's about helping people achieve the same type of transformations you guys have went through.
100%.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's been a privilege. And guys, I got to thank you so much for like having us take you through this and being clients number one when Dave wasn't even sure we should do it. He's like, I don't know. I kind of have all this other stuff. I'm like, no, we're going to do this. He was not like totally all about convinced at first. And then I'm like, well, no, we're doing this. And then it turned out to be like the most gratifying thing that we've ever done. Like we this group is everything.
I think everybody feels like that at first. Like, I mean, Deonte did start out real hot and he like closed like his first 3. And I'm over here like, I think I went like 5. And I was like, I don't know if it's going to work. Maybe I'm just not good at this. Like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. But you're going to have moments where you doubt yourself. You're going like the first 6 to 8 weeks is going to feel rough. It's going to feel foreign. You're going to be uncertain of how you're presenting it, what your pitch feels like. And that's all a part of the growing pains in the process. But you get to this place where like, you just feel so confident. Like Dave was saying, like the way that I go into a PC now is 100% different than the way I went in before. Before it was like, okay, I need to do breath work and like prep myself and get all my notes out. And like, now I'm just like, all right, I'm going to review their whys. I'm going to walk into that room. Like I know 100% certain that we're going to work together and I'm going to change their lives.
It's awesome. That's an amazing transformation right there. It's incredible. Guys, I'll let you go. I know you've got stuff to get to, but thank you guys so much for coming on. We're gonna have to have you guys come on again when your studio officially launches. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah,
after construction finishes and you get in there, let's do it. So, guys, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much for being clients number 1, and thank you so much for being the inspiration for so many other personal trainers, so many other gym owners, and just showing up and improving every single week. Thank you, guys.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for everything you do.
Thanks a lot for listening, guys.
So much time and effort, and it shows.
That's good to hear. That's one of the most, that's like the greatest thing to hear ever. So I appreciate it. And everybody listening, thanks for listening to the PT Legends podcast. We will see you on next week. Dave and myself, Scott, would love to thank you for tuning in and listening to the PT Legends podcast. You can get direct access to us by joining our free Facebook group. Go to www.facebook.com/groups/7-figure personal trainer. That's 7-figure personal trainer with the number 7. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so you can keep on learning and keep on living. Finally, if you picked up any tips whatsoever in this episode that you found helpful, be sure to leave us a review and tell us what you like best about it. Can't wait to see you on the next episode.